Guys, it is hot. We're having another heat wave, hence the Hawaiian shirt. And I'm wearing shorts, but we're going to talk about probably the best fighting knife that you're going to find. And it's in its new sheath. So let's turn this around and take a close look at my cold steel taipan now that I've had a chance to carry it. All right, guys, not even going to try and lie to you. It is 111 degrees in the studio right now. We have a bad heat wave hitting us right now, but that being said, we're going to look at the cold steel taipan. I think this is my all-time most sought after cold steel, and we're going to talk about the new sheath that came from Savage made sheaths in Saxis, Virginia, because this thing is incredible. This is like the best way to carry a taipan. So we'll talk about that in a minute. So cold steel taipan. It's a knife I have wanted for a very long time. I did resharpen mine. You can see it's got a new edge, but this thing is great. And I want to point something out. You see the knife is scratched. That was never my issue with the sheath that came with it. It wasn't about scratching the blade. I don't care. There's a grommet in this one that does scratch the blade. I don't care about that. The edge was what was suffering. So at any rate, this is a cold steel taipan. And these have been around since the late 80s, early 90s, if I remember correctly. Lynn Thompson designed this. This is one of his oldest designs that's still available. And this thing is just incredible. People joke about Lynn's knife fighting stuff, but he absolutely got this right. This knife is super nimble because of the way it's balanced. It's got this perfect balance. We've got just the right amount of weight distribution and a rubberized blade, as you can see, to give you that really good feel for it. At any rate, rubberized grip on this. So this thing in hand, absolutely perfect. It has got the right weight distribution for you to be able to snap cut, recover from cuts, and cut back. Now, people are going to joke and say, you know, what do you know about it? I took martial arts for years. We did edged weapons training. I did knife training and things like that with people, not necessarily while I was in the military, but I did do martial arts and learned edge weapons training and in the military. So this thing is great. You've got this really nice piercing tip that is broad enough and thick enough and reinforced enough to be strong, but still incredibly aggressive. You can see right here, it comes down. The double edge on this just lets it pierce through material with no problem. They've got a very nice central ridge on this, and this, opposed to a lot of daggers, is a very good hollow grind, which means this is also an incredibly good cutter. The handles taper down to the pommel. Now let's get some specs. I've got some specs for you on this knife. So you're looking at a 13-inch overall length on this with a 7.5-inch blade. It's a 13-inch knife. It is very, as you can see, very easy to control. You've got a full tang on this. Now, I'm not sure about this skull cracker pummel. I'm not sure how this is done. I don't know if they like make the tang, but this is a full tang knife. I don't know if this is a screwed on piece after, but it is full tang, and it's underneath these craton handles, which are incredibly grippy. Even with my sweaty hands right now, I don't feel as though that is at all slippery. Beautiful cross guard and bolster on this. Just an incredible looking knife. Comfort in hand, insane. This is in Sanmai 3. Now the Sanmai is done in different materials now than it used to be. This is VG1. Sanmai used to be VG10. They also offer it in 3V, and then it's jacketed with just 420J jacket steel, which is a cheap steel, but you can see you've got that laminated area. On this, I don't think it's done as a cost-saving measure, as some laminated blades are done. I think it on this is just the aesthetics and the cool factor of it being Sanmai. But it is very good, and it takes an incredible edge. This knife is ridiculously sharp. It is 10 ounces overall, so it's a little bit heavier than a lot of knives I carry. It's not light, but it's balanced very well. It comes with a SecureX sheath if you buy these, but then we're going to get into the reason why I've got a better sheath. So SecureX sheaths aren't great for your knife. And it's not that I care about it scratching the blade up and ruin and finish. They will not allow you to keep your knife sharp. I have that problem with a lot of the cold steel knives. This one, I went ahead and ordered a sheath from a gentleman named Harry Savage. You can find him online. He does really good work. And this sits beautifully. So you can see how wide this is at the top. This knife, let me go ahead and put it in the sheath for you so you can see. Locked in with this snap here across the guard, but because this is wide, thicker here, it allows this knife to sit out away from your body about like that, and you have really good access to that blade if you want. And if you want, you can get it so that you can put one of these Norton's India Stones in it and carry it. This is a really good sheath. I'm really, really happy with this. I've had sheaths from other people we've talked about. This is about as good as it gets. The only other person I think that maybe does better work is Spirit of the Bear, Michael Spangers. He's actually sending me a sheath for my OSS. So we're going to have that on the channel. So there's some problems with this knife. You guys know that. There's always going to be some problems. The big one is legality. This is not something I can legally carry in California, legally, but a lot like the cane sword. I do. I'm just cautious of how I do it. And you can see ground really well, really consistent. Now, there is a bit of an issue on this. Is it this side? Yeah, this side. There's a bit of an issue on this side where that central ridge does not exactly line up with the edge of the blade, which gives it this little bit of a rounded tip. I kind of accounted for it in sharpening. On this side, you can see it's just perfect. It is perfectly aligned. This side's a little bit off. That happens in daggers a lot. So I'm not going to complain too much. I didn't buy this knife. It basically was a freebie for me. A friend of mine had a lot of points on Blade HQ and just let me use them. But I can't tell you how happy I am that I finally got one of these. Now, Cold Steel has shifted ownership from Lynn Thompson and everything, and then being sold to GSM. And a lot of people have asked about the quality. Has the quality changed? I don't see that the quality itself has changed. The one thing that I will say I definitely noticed, this and my OSS compared to other Cold Steel knives I received, factory edge was not great. That's why it got sharpened. This knife did not come very sharp. It was just barely paper cutting sharp, and I took this to 1,000 grit on some of my stones, and it is just a buzz saw now. It is insanely sharp. But as far as all the other quality issues, I don't see a problem with this. The fact is they no longer come with a leather sheath. They used to come with this sheath right here when you would get them from the factory. As a matter of fact, this was when they were made in Seki City, Japan. This would have been the sheath you got with it, which is an okay sheath. This sheath is much better because it drops it down. The problem I had with this sheath, I did carry it in this sheath for a while. This sat up, the handle was above the belt line. This keeps your handle pretty much, let's go ahead and get it in the sheath, and you can see it keeps it well below the belt line, or closer to below the belt line, but then that wider material, that thicker material, kicks it out away. I don't have any comfort issues carrying this knife. So Cold Steel, please get rid of the garbage Securex and go back to offering at least a leather option. So yeah, just the only thing I really see with it is that one little grind issue. And oh yeah, there is a little bit of a spot on this side. No, it's this side. You can see the kite, what is it? The kite, not Kydex, the whatever this is. Can't think of it. The handle material, it sticks up a little bit high there, but it doesn't bother me. And if it really does start to bother me, I'll just take a razor blade and I'll just trim off that excess and then push it back down in. So yeah, overall, sheath, extremely happy. Knife, I'm over the moon that I finally got one. I just thought we would do this real quick because I did want to talk about this sheath. So if you go over to Harry Savage or Savage Made Sheaths, he's got a lot of different models. They come handmade. It was not all that expensive. I think total shipped was $70, I want to say. And it's just, this is a very good sheath. Really, really well made. And it's going to have to stand up to some abuse because, as you can see, I have been wearing and carrying this a good bit. So guys, there you go. Yup or nah. It's a yup on both. Like I would say, if you need a sheath, go to either this guy or go over to Savage Made Sheaths or Michael Spanger's Spirit of the Bear. So I'll put a link to both of them down in the description. Guys, that's it on this one. Just wanted to show you this one. Let's go ahead and turn this around and do some final thoughts. Yeah, guys, this thing is incredibly well balanced. The nimbleness of this knife for such a large knife is incredible. And the fact that now I have a sheath that I can carry it in and I can carry it in some scenarios and things like that is absolutely great. I love this knife. I'm glad I finally got one. So Guys, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon. If you want to support the channel, please check out all of my affiliate links down below. They don't cost you anything at checkout, especially that Amazon store. Take that, pin it to your browser, use it for all of your Amazon shopping. I have a couple links that will save you at checkout. 10% off Coffee Brand Coffee, some of the best coffee you're going to find. They've got their fall flavors out now, and Tempered Trail, where you're going to find incredibly robust laces for your hiking boots and hand-stitched leather wallets and bags. I've also got a coupon code of a Crazy Sharp, all one word, that saves you 10% at Fair & Forge Knife Works, KATSU Knives, KATSU Knives and Rosecraft Blades. I also have a membership if you want to support the channel that way. I've got another giveaway planned for those guys, and I have a public Discord. Guys, that's it on this one. You know what to do. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. Keep it clean in the comments section, and I'll see you in the next video.